Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and Don. Don here again for another episode of Interrogation. And today we're talking about the scum. On this occasion, I won't talk too much bad about this team. He has come on here to do me a favour. It's Luke talking all things Tottenham. Hello Luke, thanks for coming on. So, first off, before we go on to the new season, tell me in a few words how last season went for you.
I thought last season was very disappointing. We seemed to go into the season very strong. We had a world-class manager at the helm in Jose Mourinho. Appeared to have a very strong transfer window. Made some what appeared to be very good signings. And it looked. I was very optimistic going into last season. Some of the performances we put in, some were very good. We beat Man City 2-0, which was what people would call a Mourinho masterclass. Um, we also had some very poor performances, throwing away leads. That a lot of that blame went towards Mourinho. Whether that is the case or not, I'm not entirely sure. I don't necessarily believe so. I think there's something deeper within the club. We made the League Cup final. There was some fortune there in our progression to the final. And then Daniel Levy decided to sack Jose Mourinho 6 days before that, which was a turning point for me in terms of Daniel Levy and any, wouldn't say support, but any backing of him. And ended up with Ryan Mason, who I thought was absolutely atrocious. So it was a very, very disappointing season for me, and I would not wish to go back to that at any point.
So I can't really start anywhere else. Harry Kane on the time of recording has now missed 2 days training in a row. So tell me how you feeling about this. Do you blame the player? And should the club now just let him go? Is it just a case of getting the best price for him because his heart's not in it? Or do you reckon he just needs to get on with it because he ain't going anywhere? What do you reckon?
On the Harry Kane situation, I don't agree with not turning up to training. Um, I know many players have done it over the years. I think that for him personally, who's viewed and respected highly at the club, by the staff, by the players and the fans. I don't think he's going about it in the right way. I think he's damaging his image with the fans, and he has upset a lot of people with this. I don't know that it's the best way to force the move. Daniel Levy is very stubborn, and he will do what he wants to do. At the end of the day, he has 3 years left on his contract. Um, in terms of the move, I don't have a problem with selling him. However, he is an asset. So anytime you're selling an asset, you know you're not going to sell it for anything less than it's worth. So unless that value is met, he isn't going anywhere. So he can kick and scream all he wants, but until a team likely Man City uh, wants to put up what we feel he's worth, whether that includes a player or not, he won't be there. There will be no discussion about his transfer, and all he's done has just tarnished his legacy with the club potentially.
So the first weekend of football in September, what shirt will Harry Kane be wearing?
I think that all depends on Man City's financial situation. I think if he were in any other shirt than a Spurs shirt, I think that would be Man City's. However, obviously they've already spent 100 million, or at least bid 100 million on Jack Grealish, which is looking to go through. So it depends on their financial situation. We all know they can afford it, and financial fair play is a joke. Uh, but potentially they aren't able to pay for Kane. So I think it solely depends on Man City and if they're willing to meet the valuation that Levy and the club sets on Kane himself.
Now going on to the team, you've signed a few players, and you look like you're going to be signing Romero from Atlanta. Um, how would you rate your transfer business so far? Are you quite satisfied, or were you disappointed?
I think for the transfer window, it's been disappointing. it for a regular transfer window, it would have been disappointing so far. Obviously, we were set back because of the delaying of announcing the manager. We've signed a director of football in Fabio Paratici. He's looking like he's doing a great job, and I think he is the best director of football in world football. Um, so it remains to be seen. I think if the Romero deal goes through, that's a fantastic deal. He was the best defender in Serie A last season. Um, Young, fast, quick, strong. Um, Great addition. However, I think we do need someone to partner him. So I think if we can manage to get Laporte as part of the Kane deal, that's something I would take. I know Milenkovic was another name thrown around. I would rather Laporte personally, but obviously he would have to want to come to us. So there's no guarantee there. Also, the swap deal with Eric Lamela plus cash for Brian Hill. Um, he seems very promising, fearless, seems to have good, quick feet, but remains to be seen whether he'll live up to potential. I think it's been disappointing so far. Obviously, it's not over. However, with the first game of the season, looming large, would want to get a little bit more business done before that begins.
Obviously, where you strengthen depends on Harry Kane. Where do you think you do need to strengthen? And if Harry does go, um, will you be looking to get maybe one or two strikers in? As he's very hard to replace with one player. To be fair, where do you need to strengthen?
I think in terms of strengthening, obviously, like I said, we do need another centre half. If we were to get Romero, I think that's fantastic. But we do need another centre half to partner. I think we need a right back. There was talks of Tomiyasu, which have fallen away a little bit. Um, Obviously, if Kane leaves, we will need a striker. I think we would need two strikers. There was talks of Danny Ings and Dusan Vlahovic. Um, Vlahovic for me seems like a better prospect. Obviously, he's young, an unknown entity in terms of the Premier League, but you're always going to take a gamble on any such signing. But I do think we need two strikers, one main and potentially a backup. Um, I think Ings' wage demands are too high, so we won't follow that up.
So Nuno, what is your overall reaction to him being appointed as the new manager? Are you happy with this appointment? Me personally, I think it's a great opportunity for him, and I think he'll do well there. But what's your view on him?
I think with the Nuno situation, for me, it wasn't a surprise at all. I predicted it months back that he would be our next manager, even when he wasn't part of the discussion. In fact, he wasn't part of the discussion at all, which is why it took so long to appoint him. Um, I think he is a good manager. I think that for a lot of fans, they were sold this idea of Conte, which a lot of people believe was solely for season ticket sales, because as soon as the deadline was done, the interest seemed to fall away. But I think people got their hopes up with that. It was always going to be a big ask to get someone like Conte in, especially with his demands of uh, essentially buying a new team, which is what he likes to do. I think there is potential there with Nuno. I'd like to see what he can do with Steven Bergwijn. He seemed to bring the best out of Adama Traore. I don't think they're too dissimilar. A lot of pace. Obviously, Adama's got a lot of strength, but lacking the finishing at times. So I'd like to see what he can do with that. So I don't think it's the worst signing in the world. I think he can do a very good job if given the time.
So without talking about the league, is this an opportunity for Tottenham to try and win some sort of silverware this season? Because it's got to a point now where you just need to win something really. A League Cup would be great. An FA Cup's always an opportunity, and even Europa League. I know you've got to go for the Conference League. So do you think targeting a cup is realistic, and can you think you can do it?
When it comes to silverware this season, I'm not very optimistic. I think the Conference League is our best chance at silverware this season. Um, I do think that any competition in Europe is difficult to win, regardless of whether it be the Champions League, the Europa League, or the Conference League. I know it's its first iteration, but I think any time there's a lot of travelling involved, it does add an element of difficulty. Um, we were very lucky to get to the League Cup final last year, as we were very lucky to get to the Champions League final a couple of years ago. So I don't hold my breath with that. I can't see us taking any domestic trophy personally, but it also depends on how much emphasis Nuno wants to put on the Conference League. Whether he's using it as a proving ground for some of the youngsters coming through, or whether he wants to attack it full force and really go for the jugular.
So, to the important question for the Tottenham overall for this next coming Premier League season, what is your expectation? Where do you think you're going to finish? And is top four realistically somewhere that you can get this year? Where are you going to finish, Luke?
I don't think this season that top four is a reasonable expectation. I don't think it's achievable. I think we have a lot of ground to catch up on. We fell away the last couple of years. Um, Last season is our worst season in a long while. Um, we've taken for granted our consistently finishing towards the top four or the top six. Fell away last season. I think the best we can hope for this season is top six. Fifth place, I think, is what we should be aiming for. I don't think we have the firepower to push forward into the top four, especially with some of the some of the investment that a lot of the clubs around us have made. So I would say fifth place at a push, but top six is what we should be aiming for.
Thanks for coming on, Luke. Appreciate it. Before I let you go, one word to describe the upcoming season for Tottenham.
Redemption.